Hi everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So let's begin with an easy topic, which is melancholy. So first of all, let's try to understand what melancholy is. Melancholy it comes from the Greek word melas, which is black, and chole, that means bilis. You say bilis in English? Bile? Okay, bile. All right. So, which is this secretion, that is created in the liver and that goes to the stomach to decompose the food, so we can absorb better the nutrients in the intestines. So remember what we have spoken the day we talk about humor. So melancholy is one of those humors, which is one of those liquids that of the four liquids that in the Greek philosophy they said was one of the four that created us, that we have inside. So remember that we have spoken about these four humors that we have been that they have been created in us, inside of our body, and then we have the fifth humor, and the fifth humor is the one related to the soul. Remember that we have spoken about this, which is the one that they call pneuma, which is the breathing related to the lungs. But that today, this humor, we call it the one related to the soul, which in Greek is psychology, psyche, which is soul. So the psychology of our humor will embrace every one of the humors of our body, and this is how this the holy, the bile, we start to also take it from a psychological point of view, and this psychological point of view will be melancholy. And why melancholy? Because if the bile is trying to process the food for us to absorb it, so by the perception of the soul, this means that the things that we are living are not being able to be processed by us, so we cannot handle it, and that's melancholy. This is how a biological aspect becomes a psychological concept. So the process, the biological process, is exactly like the psychological process. We would say we have some food, and the food, we eat the food, and it goes through the digestive system. So what I ate, it goes down, and basically when it arrives to the stomach, the bile from the liver will decompose that food, so intestine can absorb it and goes to the gut, and then the hormones take all the what is necessary and bring the energy to the cells. And when it's not useful, I just let it go in shape of pee or poo. In the other psychological way, something that I am living, something that I am not being that I am eating emotionally, so goes within my body, I process it, I try to understand each one of the parts of it, assimilate each nutrients of these situations for myself. And what I do from this situation, I just give it away, and the rest becomes part of me by becoming wisdom. So when comes the melancholy? Melancholy comes when I am trying to process an information that I ate, and I don't want it to change. When I don't want for that to transform. And when you eat something, it will have to transform by force, because everything that comes in will be different when it comes out. So melancholy would be, I don't want that to change. I want for it to be exactly the same as it was before. It's my incapacity to allow things to be different, to transform. So we usually relate melancholy with this concept of being sad, to be like crying and sad, but it's not exactly that. Melancholy is much bigger. It's trying to live in the past, even if everything has changed. So for example, that people that live still in the 70s, and they say, oh, the 70s were the best years ever. I don't know. So even if it is 2020, they still live like if it is the 70s, wearing clothes like in the 70s, listen to the same music, saying, oh, that time was the best one. That's melancholy, living in a shape that has already changed. So we are all melancholics in some way, even if you are having fun. So should not relate melancholy with with being crying and sad, but we have to relate melancholy with the concept of not being able to process that things has changed. In our culture, we used to get attached to the shapes. It happens to all of us. So it happens to all of us that we used to attach to something, to the shapes. We don't want the things to change. We want to live happily, and we don't want things to transform themselves when we see something that is good, that is nice. When you experience something that is good, you want for it to last forever. And that's natural, that's cultural also. For some of the cultures that that has been told since they were kids, like in Buddhism, with all this practice that they do with the mandalas, that they create these beautiful big mandalas, and you say, wow, they are beautiful. They finish it, they just erase everything, and you may say, why it's so beautiful? But that's the practice. They are practicing to not be attached to the shapes, and the hard work is just for a moment. That everything is for here and now, and nothing is forever. And we have to practice that in our lives. So something that we have to acknowledge is that we have to practice to let it go, the shapes, to transform, because life will transform us anyway by dying, when you die. So remember that death is not the end of anything. It's just the continuation of life. To die is only a big change, but the life keeps going, keeps moving on. So whatever you perceive, you feel, you want, and you felt like good in your life, you will create it in the mind of the fourth dimension after you die. So you will create these concepts out of time and out of space. And you will be trapped in your melancholy. All the people that wasn't taught to be free is all people that are living in the lower astral, in the fourth dimension. They are living a life that doesn't belong to them anymore. So this makes that in a world like ours, the astral, the fourth dimension, is filled with thousands, billions of those people that we used to call spirits or ghosts. What are ghosts? They are melancholic ghosts, melancholic people. And in the fourth dimension, you can find people that is happy there, that they are living happily. And there are people that is very sad and lost. But they are all melancholic people. All that people, all those who are living in the fourth dimension, in the low astral, they are living their lives like if they are not dead. But they live in a dimension where transformation doesn't exist. So they are trapped. They are trapped in a place where there is no change, where they are living constantly the same. And for those people, it's easier to come back here and to be reborn again, to come back to the matter, than to go into the light. I'd like you to pay attention for a moment. I'm going to say now, because what you are asking, I will answer it. So just pay attention to this for a moment. So right now, I would ask for you to stop thinking about these people like the beloved ones that are in another dimension and us like the living ones trying to help them. Okay? We'll stop thinking about that now for a moment. So take this image. This here is like gravity. Okay? So we have here that the most heavy part of the reality is here in the center. So it's heavy. Okay? So all the rest that is not as heavy as the one in the center will fall towards it, because this one here, it's bending time and space. Okay? It's bending it because it's so heavy that everything starts to fall down like this. So in our solar system, for example, we have the sun, and each one of the fingers will be the planets. So we have like this, the solar system, okay? And the planets will start to fall down towards the sun by thousands and billions of years after they start to fall down. It's not that the planets go to the sun, it's that the sun is so heavy that bends, curves the time and space, so the planets start to fall down, like doing this and putting all together again. So from the 9 dimensions that exist in our reality, which one do you think is the highest? So imagine this, that the sun, if we, the third dimension is the heavy, so the third dimension, will be the sun of our universe. So the fourth dimension will be Mercury. The fifth dimension will be Venus. The sixth dimension will be Earth. The seventh dimension, Mars. The eighth dimension, Jupiter. The ninth dimension will be Saturn. We living in the third dimension, imagine that there is a moment that we go out of the solar system. We want to go out. So from the sun has an explosion, a sunstorm, and it goes away. And it goes, the first planet that it will go through is Mercury, and then Venus, and then Earth. So Mercury will be the fourth dimension. And Mercury also will be the first one on delivering that light back to the sun. Okay, because it's the closest one. So when the light goes to Mercury, it goes back by reflection, it goes back really fast. So this means that all the beings that live in the fourth dimension are more willing to come back to the sun, to the third dimension, than going to higher dimensions. It's more easy for them to come back because in Mercury, in the fourth dimension, everything is related to the sun. So everything is basically equal like the sun. This is a comparison. This is not, I'm not saying that we are the sun. Okay, no, this is a pedagogical comparison because it's something that you cannot relate to because it's other dimension. So it's difficult to understand it, where to put the fourth dimension if you don't compare it with something natural that we have here. It's an example, okay? What I want to explain with this analogy is that every dimension is constantly coming back to the third dimension by gravity. By gravity, it comes back to the third dimension. So the reason why I am comparing this with the sun and gravity is to help you to understand this, that today we are working with the plexus, the solar plexus. And listen to the name. The chakra solar plexus is related to the sun. The solar plexus is the one that gives energy to the liver, to the stomach, to the pancreas. So where the bile is moving around. Okay, so this part here is the point of gravity of our body. This is the heaviest point where all the gravity goes. So taking this image, now imagine that this is not the sun and the planets. Okay, that this now is here is the solar plexus, which is your liver, your pancreas, your stomach, and this that before were the planets, now they are organs. The heart, the lungs, the brain, intestines, genitals. So all of them goes to the center, to the solar plexus. In the same way as for all the dimensions, the third dimension is the center of gravity where all the rest fall down. The sun is the point of gravity where the planets fall down. The pancreas, the digestive system, is where all the rest of the systems go down. And the plexus, the energetical aspect, will be where all the energies go down. Goes to it. Okay? This is why the solar plexus is the point where we have all the links with all the people that is alive or dead through every dimension. And this is why the only thing that connects us through all the dimensions to other beings is the plexus. And this is why, through dimensions and history, from the fourth dimension, all my ancestors connect with me and through me by the emotions in the solar plexus. So what this means, that if I am the physical aspect, the third dimensional aspect of all the other dimensions, this means that my body and my pancreas and all this region here will be the anchor of gravity of hundreds of people that are dead and that they are from my tree of life, from my family tree. So this means that from the fourth dimension, there are hundreds of beings that they used to, they intend to fall down in spiral towards my solar plexus. And now there's another important fact, that the solar plexus is the one related also with the I am. So the reason why I cannot be myself, I cannot connect with my own self, is because I am trying to be all these other beings in other dimensions that are trying to live through me, which I call my ancestors, living through my body. So the first thing that we can think is two things. How can I set myself free from that? And how can I help the others to set themselves free? We would say why they don't keep moving to the fifth dimension, to the sixth dimension, why they keep coming here. So the reason why they don't keep moving is because two sentences. One is every old time was better, and also better better a bad thing that you know, I don't know the sentence in English, is better a bad thing you know than a good thing that you don't know. I don't know how you say it in English, but that's the concept. So one of the main reasons why a lot of people stay here is because by culture and by religion, they have been told that after death, it comes the judgment, where you go, heaven, hell, that they rather stay with what they know than keep going. So how do we change this? Well, it's easy. You don't have to help them, because you have to remember that everything is you. The main concept we're working with is I am. So I am. And if I am, so they are also myself. So I don't have to help them to keep moving and be free. What I have to do is to set myself free, to myself own freedom. And because they are all connected to myself through the plexus, when I set myself free, they will find freedom, because I will be nourishing them with freedom. So I don't have to say to them, go to the light. No, because when I find my freedom, I will be enlightened. And by enlightenment, they will see the light. So it's my job. So what it is to be free is to be able to be without nobody saying to me what I should be. Easy. So with this that I'm saying, I'm not saying that you should not help anybody in the other side. What I'm saying is that, of course, there are people that have come here with the gift to help others to transcend. They see the dead people, they know how to help them, they learn how to do it, so they will do it. It's their job, is their mission in life, and that's perfect, because it's what they have to do. But I am saying this for the people that is working just for the self. And of course, our responsibility is the people that is connected to us, because they are our ancestors. So that's the melancholy level. Okay. That I've heard a question that was why some people charge to do that. Okay. So about the question of why to charge if it's the mission. So in the same way of why you go to the restaurant and why you have to pay for a dish of food, because there was a job behind that they have to work for it so you can eat. And also when you go to the psychologist is also working with you, putting all the time for you for help you, and is not doing other things to eat. So it's putting all the energy on helping you, because he has to, or she has to study or whatever to do that. But they also have something inside. So, and also, so when you have if you have a gift, is something that you can use and exchange with energy, and that's it. So it's something that you know how to do, and that's it. So for example, it's totally different what I'm doing here. For example, I am not charging everything for doing this. Why? Because for me, what I am doing now is a service. Because I have a gift, and if you would be the one saying, I want to come and you to teach me to do that, I could be doing something else. So I decide to teach you or whatever, or do something with you. So that takes my time. So I can charge for this, because basically I am working because someone wanted. But this, what I'm doing now, I cannot charge it because my service is something that I know that I have to do and nobody asked me to do it. I want to share it. So it's a totally different energy, okay? So totally different thing. I guess it's important to explain this because there are some people that came to this reality to work with other dimensions, not on service to other dimensions. And it's totally different to come on service than to come to work. Yeah, it's very different. So this related to melancholy. So about the topic of the apocalypse and those things that I wrote today in the blog, I will, as always, do a different video just explaining about that, just explaining about the whole prophetic things. I want to clarify many things about that, and I just want to keep these videos to speak precisely about the information of every day, so it's more neutral. And they all are related, so it's better to talk all together. So let's go to the alignment. The vibration for today is wir. So the statement for today is, I am the transformation of the links, of the ties. Okay, so it's perfect for today. The transmutation of ties. Ties or links? How is better? The code for today is the 9th dimension. The center of all eternal possibilities in time is the eternal space. The 9th dimension speaks of the limited beings of the 3rd dimension who managed to be constructors of realities in the 6th dimension, which in the ninth dimension become the indivisible and eternal God or Goddess. Here is where the basis of all quantum physics resides, where nothing exists, and thus everything can exist. So some people were asking about why the scream yesterday that scared so many people. And the reason was because if we are just meditating and thinking, so the body is not acknowledging what we are really working. So we needed to work with to go to the biology part for it to react, to say what's happened. So the body can acknowledge what we were working. So all together as a network could be in the same level, bringing up the vibration. Sorry. Así que fue a propósito. Sí. So it was on purpose. Sit comfortable. Start with my shoulders in circles until I let the weight fall down and relax, focusing only in my breathing. Take a deep breath, being aware of the light that is around me. I feel the light also irradiating within me. I take a moment to perceive all the people that I know around me. The closest ones, the farthest ones, the good ones and the bad ones, all around me. And today, I also pay attention to all the beings and people that are dead, living in the different astrals, but now all around me. All of them, the good and the bad, the living and the dead, they are all equally enlightened, surrounded by the light that comes from me. I am the sun, the light that connects them all. And now I perceive them as parts of my own self, my own being, like waves in a great ocean. Shining due to my light. Take a deep breath and dive within the ocean. Deeper and deeper to the subconscious, the shadow, the darkness, as I see the light vanishing above. Within the darkness, I feel the pressure of all those who are connected to me. I set the intention. I desire to be free, and by my freedom, to set all of them free. I pay attention to all those things that are not allowing me to be free. All my melancholy. What is the biggest melancholy of my soul? And I sing to them. So in my singing, they are not afraid to transform themselves. I am the transmutation of bones. I am the transmutation of bones. I am the transmutation of bones. Inspira profundo. Take a deep breath. La araña tejedora les recuerda que con sus manos tienen la habilidad de tejer y sentir los vínculos. The spider that waves the net reminds you that you have the power to connect the links and to the links with others. In your hands, use that power to perceive it, to feel it. Nos recuerda, somos todos tejedores de la red. She reminds us we are all weavers of the net. Sean conscientes de ese poder que está en vuestras manos. Be aware of that power that you have in your hands. No tengan miedo a la araña. Don't be afraid of the spider. Inspiro profundo, llevo mis manos al corazón. Take a deep breath. Take your hands to your chest. Y llevo esta conciencia aquí y ahora, acariciando y estirando mi cuerpo. And I bring this consciousness here and now throughout all my body, caressing and stretching here and now. Thank you for being there. So the being today, she didn't speak because she was a spider. So I was trying to translate the meaning, the concept. So see you tomorrow at the same time.